Hello people, and I'm back with another Limbus company video, and today I will be reviewing the new Walpurgis identities, kits, and the ego, so you know whether you should pull for them or not. We'll start with Faust. Faust is a very nice looking skill 1, and it scales along with her entire kit with her fire butterfly coffin, which she gains somehow. I will look at that later. She does appear to have some decent burn count and burn application. And she has a skill 1-2 that gets activated when Philip Sinclair or Mr. Beast uses a skill 3 that also has some nice count for burn and tremor. Her skill 2 is also quite nice, also scaling with fire butterfly coffin with some decent count and 2 tremor bursts because she reuses her second coin. Yeah, her skill 3 is pretty good. We have Tremor Scorch. The base skill 3 is pretty mediocre, in all honesty. Her enhanced skill 3, I must say, is rather fantastic. It gives her Battle Instinct, which gives her min and max speed +2. This puts her in. This allows her to contest Faust for the spot of a Faust identity in the Tremor team. She also gains Overheated Coffin, which applies burn to her. This allows it to. This allows self-burn, which all identities get when attacking an enemy that has more than 60 burn. That allows the burn you gain from that to ramp up more over the span of a fight, which isn't all too good. She has a defense skill, which is also alright. There's nothing special. She loses burn on self, which is the first time I've seen an identity do that in Limbus company. Do ignore that. And then she also gets another skill 3 as a defense skill, like Faust. This too is very, very nice, allowing her to do more damage for every HP percent missing on self. This synergizes well with the burn you get from, as previously mentioned, attacking enemies with burn. It is unfortunately an unfocused volley, but that's not too bad. She can't die to burn. Very nice. She gains High Noon if she's on the same team as Philip Sinclair, which it does something, for sure. Loneliness at High Noon, if, right, more speed. Min max speed +4, 4 to 7, this puts her at a 8 to 12 max speed, which is very nice, as most of the time you will not have other identities in your team rolling much higher than that with speed. Her passive is quite nice. I'm going to be honest, I'm not reading all of this. Essentially, all you need to know is she uses her skill 1-2 whenever any of the Dawn Office allies use a skill 3. She has a very good support passive for solos, if you're into that. I would say that Dawn Office Faust is definitely worth getting for your burn team, as she actually benefits from the burn you gain when you attack enemies with a lot of burn. However, she does have Tremor, and as you should know from my Tremor video, Tremor actually makes you likely to miss your skills because of how much the enemy will be, well, tremoring. However, a tremor burst will guarantee a hit on that coin at least. So she has a lot of tremor bursts, which is quite nice. I'm not sure what the numbers are for missing with tremor, but I shall look into that in my tremor part 2 video. Now, let's just look at Salvador Gregor. Salvador Gregor gains Light of Daybreak as his unique charge. This is all you really need to know. And it allows him to gain extra coins. He's more tremor focused than Burn, applying 2 tremor count to skill 1 and 2 on the skill 2. He again gains an extra coin on the skill 2, and that triggers a tremor burst, which is pretty nice, all things considered. His base skill 3 is pretty good. It applies protection to 2 other random allies. I think it should be every ally, or even just the Dawn Office allies. Regardless, it's alright. He applies Dawn Herald to everyone, which is essentially just more damage, maybe more clashing if you're in the Dawn Office. His skill 3 is very nice, being tremor count positive or neutral. I don't know, does he get an extra coin? He might. No, he doesn't. He uses an enhanced skill 3, obviously. Silly Macy. Regardless, again, at least on the enhanced skill 3, it should be every ally. This applies 3 Dawn Herald instead. It's just a generally nice skill 3. His defense skill gives him assist defense, which we all really like. Other than that, it's pretty good. We've got you lose burn potency and count on self, synergizing, well, not synergizing, like Unifaust. Aside from that, it is a relatively just average defense skill. His defense clashable counter is assist defense clashable counter is again nothing special. In fact, it's worse than his normal defense skill, but that's to be expected as it's an assist defense exclusive skill. So far, the identities are relatively nice. Unifaust being the best, and Mr. Beast being relatively nice. Nothing special, nothing not special. Something to write home about, but nothing to lose your mind over, particularly. Now, for the ego. I must say, I am very attracted to Yu Sang in this ego. I had to say it, and I will continue to say it, as long as people oppose or do not understand. Anyway, on with the ego. It is an unfocused volley, which is rather displeasing, but he gets free pass. When inflicting butterfly using the skill effects, chance to flip heads percent, chance to inflict the departed. This is very nice because if you use the ego at maximum sanity, you'll be inflicting a lot of the departed. In case you don't know what the departed does, that's a lot of text. I won't be reading all of that. Anyway, it's very nice. If someone meant using the identity is using this skill, before attack, gain assortment of Gloom Resonance +1, living in the departed, maximum 7, and then reload at attack end. This is very nice, as in the ego passive, it forces a reload after the skill and discards every base attack that isn't his skill 3. which is, for lack of better words, fantastic. It also makes supplement using the identity a tremor unit. This is not so good, but I can look past it as my eyes are focused on something else, if you know what I mean. It also makes every using identity one that inflicts butterfly, which is just generally a nice thing to have. Back on with the skill. It is count neutral on sinking, or count negative, but only by 1. Which is, for lack of other words, a lot of butterfly, as you'd expect. And a lot of damage on the last coin. For the corrosion, it's the same thing, except it's indiscriminate, not a focused volley, and it, if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't inflict as, it inflicts less butterfly, but it inflicts all of it onto the exact same target, and I think it does a bit more damage on the final coin. And it also gains attack weight. Regardless, I believe that this ego is very much worth getting, if you get the chance to. I think, generally, this Walpurgis is worth pulling on if you have Lunacy too. Although, you won't be missing out on too much if you're not particularly big on Tremor or Burn. As you know, Burn is the strongest effect in the game, and Tremor not so much, but that is why they're paired together so often. So, if you're a big Burn fan, definitely pull. If otherwise, you don't have to pull if you don't want to, really. Oh, I didn't go through Mr. Beast's passives. He gains Daybreak of the Sunset, which, again, is nothing special. Yeah. There's nothing special here at all. It's just the same as Unifaust, but with his skill 1, and he gains live Daybreak on used with base attack, on hit with any base attack skill, which I presume you would have gathered otherwise. Regardless, pull on this banner if you're a big fan of Burn, or you really, really, really like that ego, like I do. And that will conclude this video. Thank you for watching, and do provide any feedback in the comments. Or don't. I don't really care. Goodbye.